I wanted to think about my branding. I'm working on it since maybe 1 year to, you need to refresh yourself at a certain point because it's been many, many years that I'm working in this field as a speaker and a speaker and a coach, as mostly coach. Um, so yeah, it was really about to refresh and to have a clearer picture for the people when they see me, they say, okay, I know exactly what she's talking about.
Okay, hi Sofranie. Welcome to the Meetup spot, or should I say, bonjour Sofranie, bienvenue Meetup spot.
Thank you, Nigel. So it's a pleasure to meet you here and to see you and yeah, to be in your podcast.
Ah, thanks, thanks.
Yeah.
So I guess again as well again, cloudy in Montreal, I guess.
It's a bit cloudy, a little bit sun, a bit yeah, mostly clouds, I would say today. But I mean, how is it in Toronto?
No, I'm based in Edmonton.
It's also like lots of clouds.
Well, there's some blue skies out there, based on what
Okay.
I'm seeing.
Better in Montreal then.
Oh, yeah, and the fact that you're third place in the brand builder competition. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Okay. So I decided to involve myself into this process because the first reason for me to participate for this branding competition, which is not, I'm not a specialist in marketing at all. So,
Really?
but no, at all, like at all. That's why, I wanted to think deeper about my presence online and, the image I send so that people see me more like clearly about who I am, you know? Because when you put a picture, when you send a message online, people receive something, but is it the picture you want to give? Is it the picture that you want to be presented? And I wanted to think about my branding. I'm working on it since maybe 1 year to, you need to refresh yourself at a certain point because it's been many, many years that I'm working in this field as a speaker and a speaker and a coach, as mostly coach. So yeah, it was really about to refresh and to have a clearer picture for the people when they see me, they say, okay, I know exactly what she's talking about. And do I need it or not? Right? That's yeah, that's why you need clarity. And that's the reason. And I'm very happy to be third place. I didn't think that I would be, that I would receive anything because as I say, I'm not expert at all in this. So
Not bad. Third place isn't bad. Okay, so let's get started.
yeah,
First, tell me about yourself and your growing up story.
my growing up story.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So well, I will start I will start at 5.
Oh,
I will go. Yeah, because for me, 5, it's an age, because I was living in Paris. Like, I'm born in Canada, but my mom
oh,
brought me to Paris to live in Paris at 3 years old. So 3 to 5, I was living in Paris. And when we came back at 5 years old, I was completely shocked and I stopped to talk. I didn't speak for I don't know how many weeks because I was very depressed. So I started to be really kind of depressed in my childhood. And why I talk about 5 years old is because our mental programming is built from yeah, 3 months before our birth until 6, 7 years old, right? So for me to have such an experience of losing someone super important, my grandmother was not even by blood, but for me to lose someone that was one of the most important person in my life was definitely something that had a huge effect in my life, and brought me into a depression as a kid. And therefore, through all my life, I was on therapy and on therapy and on therapy, and I wanted to kill myself at a certain point, because I
oh,
was not happy in my life. Yeah, because I felt completely alone. I felt like I had nothing to do on this earth. And I started to do Taekwondo when I was 14, and because I had no reason to live. So it started to be my main idea of a reason to live. And then so I became a champion. Like every competition I would go, I would win because I was training like 2, 3 times a day. I was completely obsessed with taekwondo. I wanted to live in a monastery to do taekwondo when I wake up until the night when I go to sleep. You know that I the reason for me to live was taekwondo because it was my reason to live, right? And to kind of love life. It was through the sports. And at a certain point with therapy, because I had a lot of therapy, I fell in love with life again. I understood that I was hypersensitive as a young person, very, very sensitive, and therefore, like when I lose someone, or it affect me like super deeply. And I was so sensitive during my time with Taekwondo, I remember, because I was training so much, but also because I didn't want to feel anymore. I wanted to become like a robot. And I was winning all the time. I was also anorexic, bulimic, and I actually wrote how I would die at 26 years old, and it was all planned because at 26, you were not good anymore in sports, so no reason to live. You're right. It was always like that in my life. And then I came into circus, like after my last competition, I had enough to do taekwondo, but then I started to do circus, and I went to circus school, and still I was bulimic anorexic, and then I did the circus school, and then after I've been working for a show company in Montreal. It's called Cirque for a year about that, and then I went to Germany to work in cabaret, and that's then I had a lot of success as a circus artist and as a jazz singer. And I was working there 11 years, like mostly in Berlin, 9 years in Berlin, I would say. And then, like I was working because, I was again depressed and unhappy. Whatever the result I had in my life, I was always unhappy, depressed, self-depreciation, self-depreciate. How do you say
That's
in
okay.
English?
That's okay.
I didn't like myself. I didn't love myself.
Depression. Yeah.
Basically, I hated myself, and I didn't like my body, and it was never enough, and I was never enough, right? So my career ended, my circus career and singing career ended a day that I was singing Heart of Glass on stage, and I collapsed, and I woke
Oh.
up in a hospital. I was
Oh.
plugged by machines, and for 2 weeks they tried to find out what I had, and it was a deep burnout. So I was 1 year in bed. I couldn't speak at all, and I couldn't walk for 1 year. Yeah, and all this because my self-image was so poor, and I didn't love myself, and I didn't respect my boundaries. And even if I was winning, it was always like a very bad self-esteem. And you know, during the time that my burnout was the best thing that happened to me at the end of the day, because that's where I rebuilt myself from the beginning. Like, why do I need to have 3 jobs in the same time? Why do I accept when people on stage call me naked, or grab my ass while I sing and stuff like that? Why do I accept that as a woman? Like, why do I have to fight all the times? Do I want this life for myself? Like, what is it I want for my life from now on? And that's where, like I decided to quit my relation, quit the cabaret, quit my career as a circus artist. I had really enough. And I came back to Canada. And that's where I discovered Bob Proctor, the coaching by Bob Proctor. And I fell in love with this program because it was the first time of my life that I found a program that had a structure, that I knew what to do with myself, because therapy tells you why you behave in a certain way, why you are in a certain way. Yes, and it's the first step. But what do you do after? And this was like, oh, I found something that gave me the structure, that I know how to get to what I want to live step by step in a very structured way. And by the contact of Bob Proctor, I learned to love myself. My life changed completely, completely. I studied 4 years before to certify myself with Bob Proctor. So that's my life.
Wow. That is wow. What? Okay. And and I gotta say, I think. Well, I'm glad you found your way right through it. I don't know that's if that's if that's the best thing to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
And
Yeah, we can change. We can absolutely change. We don't need to stay, you know, unconfident. We don't need to stay depressed. Things can change. It's up to us, but we need help, right?
I love the lesson so far. Okay, so in your view, how do you think how does one person find their self-worth every day?
Yeah, it's by changing your mental programming. It's really in the contact of my coach, Bob Proctor. Do you know Bob Proctor?
No.
No, he was is one of the founder of this program that I teach, Thinking to Results. It's called, and it's a program on self development, like in terms of your mental programming, but also your business, how to have the results that you want in your life, personally and professionally. And that's why, like I fell in love so much with this program. I decided to certify myself, and by doing it, because I was studying like 5 6 hours a day, because I'm very intense person. So I studied so much this material, so I applied it all the time, all day long. So that's why I changed my mental programming by applying exactly what my coach was telling me to do. I was a very good student.
Oh, I see. All right. So, Franny, why do you do what you do?
Why I do what I do? Because uh, because I want to help people. I always, since a young kid, I felt so much love inside of me. And like I told you, I was hypersensitive. I feel the energy of people. I feel people very deeply. And I I didn't know what to do with it. I had a lot of success in sport and expression in my body, but I had always this little voice inside of me that I should do something more. I should do something different, and or to I knew that I had a mission to have a positive impact in the world, but I didn't know how to do it, because when you're a circus artist, you're like, how do I do that, right? You see shows sometimes that have a huge impact in you, but I didn't know how to create this. The level of the message I had was impossible to create for me. Oh, it was not in my in my universe, in my I don't know, in my mind. But that's why, like when I found this program, because I always help people, I always help people to have jobs, always have, I was a mentor for many artists before to be a coach. So it was natural. It was very natural. So I love helping. I really, really love helping, and I'm very dedicated. I want sometimes more than my clients. I'm very much into each of my clients that I work with. And so that's why, like the why is really that I want to participate making a better world.
Oh, that's awesome. And in being a coach before that, you were helping others informally. How exactly did you do that?
Well, it was through my coaching. I was coaching some circus artists. And,
Okay.
because when you coach a technique, it's not only the technique you coach, it's also you pass on your values, and you pass on, the good that is in you. And it's not only this technical or physical, it's about human exchange, right? And through that, like I wanted to help already, like women that were, in my eyes, not confident enough, to be more confident and to be strong within. Because anyway, you have to be strong to be alone on the market with your act, and be alone in this world, and to just sell your act, right? It's not that easy. So you need to be strong. Yeah. And that's what I was doing with some of my students. And to give job, it was like something that it was very natural. I love to give. So when I had a chance, I was proposing artists, and yeah.
Hmm, nice,
Yeah.
nice. And how did you? Actually, no, never mind. Should I? Yeah, should I? Yeah, I don't know if I should even ask this when you, oh, yeah, when you answered this already. But how did you transition from being a circus artist to both a speaker and a coach?
Yeah. It's really by, yeah, it's really when I met Bob Proctor, like his teaching, the
Yeah.
material, I felt like it was the best day of my life when I met this material, honestly. And I decided to be a coach because, my first dream was to have my own cabaret. I
Oh,
wanted it so bad. Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's really what I wanted. And this is so important to understand. When you are in a sport or in the arts, you are so in love with what you do. There's nothing more important in your life than what you do. It's kind of a mission, right? It's very, very intense. And I have a goosebump when I'm just talking about that because it's
oh,
true. And you don't see yourself doing something else. The transition is so hard for them because you are all your life you breathe for it, you eat for it, you move for it, you do all your life is based on what you do. And I'm not saying other jobs is not like that, it can be like that, but arts and sport is especially like that, you know, because you have always to perform your maximum all the time. There's a lot of pressure and you want it so bad. It's really intense. It takes you over completely. Like when I was doing taekwondo, I asked my coach, can you decide which boyfriend I'm gonna have? Because I was not interested.
oh,
Yeah, all my life was completely only taekwondo, and then after it was completely circus. So it was nothing else was important than what I was doing, and that's it. And when COVID came, so many artists, some they suicide, they kill themselves because they didn't know who they were. They had no reason to live because they couldn't be on stage anymore. And this is
oh.
true. Yeah, because you identify yourself with what you do instead of who you are. And that's the key. That's the key. You have to be, who you are is so much more powerful, so much stronger than what you do. And what you do, you can recreate in another job. And I love myself. I love my job so much. I wouldn't change for anything in the world. I love what I do so much more than circus, so much more than taekwondo, so much more than anything else. And I wouldn't trade myself for anything in life. Really, because and I don't push myself. I'm not asking myself to, I'm always asking myself to be better and always better, but not in a sick way, not in a toxic way, in a with love for myself. Because I know that to be a good coach, you have to first of all to love yourself, to respect your own boundaries and your values, and then you can give, right? So yeah, to me, to do what I do it was to come back to who I really am and to be aligned with my real mission in life. Mhm.
That's great. Okay, so Franny, why choose to join Speaker Slam?
Okay. The first reason, there's many reasons, but the first reason is because a friend of mine, Martin L'Espérance, he won the Grand Slam some years ago, and I follow, because I'm a newer as speaker. It's been maybe 3 years now. It's pretty new. So I'm coach since 7, 8 years now, but speaker it's a bit more new. Um, and I follow this person is kind of a, how can I say, you know, uh, when you have someone that you follow that inspire you, and this is Martin for me. And I always look at what he does and I said, okay, I'm going to do exactly what he does, and that's it. So that's how I found uh, Speaker Slam. And the second reason is because I love competition. I really love it because, yeah, I love it because it's always it gives you such a thrill, like energy, and always you can see yourself where you are and how you grow, because you can do salon and speak there. It's absolutely great too because you learn a lot about yourself. But in a competition like it, because all the judges they give you feedback on your talk after the competition. If you are amongst the 3 or 4 winners, you have the feedback from the judges. I don't know the others, but because I went twice and I won twice. So so I had the judge critiques or feedbacks, and it helped me tremendously. And also when you win, you have like coaching. You had like a couple of hours of coaching with the judges, so you grow all the time. So that's why, and I met my actual coach, like Steve Lowell is my coach now. Yeah, and I couldn't, you meet amazing people, like amazing people. So I'm absolutely grateful. And Rena and Dan, they are just amazing people too, like they are so generous and they are so smart. Like they're so smart, because they give you everything you need. It's so easy. You just have to work on your speech. The rest is it's all there. It's so easy. They make it easy to promote yourself and to promote them. So it's an exchange. So it's so smart. It's really, really, I'm really impressed. Yeah. And they are really good people too. Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta
And you
say,
meet,
I'm feeling this. Yeah. What you were
yeah.
saying?
Oh no, sorry. You meet also the other participant, like you can have nice exchange. You see, you invite me to your podcast. See?
I gotta say, Sofranie, I'm feeling the same way with Toastmasters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever speak to Speaker Slam?
No, well, I never joined Speaker Slam,
No.
especially since I'm in Edmonton. Speaker Slam's in Toronto, I believe.
Yeah.
As Toastmasters, we do a speech
Yeah.
contest yearly. We managed to
Yeah.
I managed to make it to a club contest second place. Although last year I made it to the area. Hopefully
Yeah.
next year, hopefully next year I'm thinking of making it to division or or,
Yes.
or
Oh,
more than that, but division's better.
that's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I never been to Toastmaster, but it sounds
really,
really interesting.
it is interesting. Yeah, okay,
Hmm.
especially with the table topics, it's really interesting. So, what was the process for you in joining and being in it?
In what? Sorry.
What was the process for you in joining and being in it?
Being in Speaker Slam, you mean?
Yes.
It's to meet people, like what I enjoy the most is to challenge myself to see, how great I can do, and to always be better each time I do this kind of competition. But I also like to connect with people. You meet extraordinary people, and that's the main thing. Like the last time that I was there, there was a friend that was living in Toronto, from my youth, like it's been 30 years, I haven't seen her. And I met her, Isabel, her name is Isabel. And we were crying because it was the first time we met in 30 years, right? And she came to see me at Speaker Islam. So you, it's people that you can meet. I don't know, maybe from your past, all things happens there because you invite people and people can show up, and then you're like, wow, it's incredible to see also the love that you can receive from people. And but I would say mostly it's for the people you meet. Yes, and to also to have a view of your potential, and to have um the right feedbacks, to know exactly where you stand. It's really great. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. So, so, Franny, what's your way of crafting speeches?
I always work with a coach. I really believe in coach because I am myself. So I always have a coach for everything. So I have a coach. It's Steve Lowell. And I also work with Rena, and they are amazing. They're just amazing. So they help me with how, because I learn through them. I learn how to craft a message, because now I'm so much better at crafting my own conferences. And I know also like stage presence and the movements and so on. I know how to do it now because I'm learning from these coaches. So I can also help others. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. And what is your public speaking style, and how did you achieve it?
How I achieve by doing a lot of conference. Like the more you give and the more you invest in yourself, that you always learn, like, because it's not only speaking, it's about how you present yourself, it's how you dress, it's how you move, it's who you coach you, and it's your image, your branding. That's why that's why I did it. So it's all together, and um yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And it seems you told a story about about the second grip to the speaker slam,
Yes.
once the audience a years ago. Why talk about it again, and how did you do it differently this time?
You saw it twice. You saw it on the
Both
first year,
two,
the
yep,
second.
both
Oh, you,
videos.
you saw both. Yeah, I guess you saw the big difference, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it was a big difference. Well, I told the story again. It was a choice, right? Because I have many stories, but this story was for me very important to tell people, like, when you're faced with fear, you know, uh, people think that fear, oh, they don't think, but that's how they behave. That fear is something bad and you have to stay away, or it's always presented in a way that you have to run from. But in my experience, fear was a friend, was a best friend, because it always showed me where exactly I needed to go. Because when you have fear mixed with excitement, it's because that's where you need to be. Even if you're afraid, you have to use your will to get there, because will is stronger than your self-confidence, and will is stronger than your motivation, way stronger. Don't count on the motivation, don't count on your confidence, because your will is really strong enough to get you where you want to be. Never wait to be ready, but just do it you know
Hmm. Yeah. And how does the message of taking the second grip still ring true in 2026?
I think that, okay, if I'm being honest, I feel like it's quite alarming to see people that are always hypnotized by their phones, by their computer. And you see, and this is we are programmed to be hypnotized, right? And while we are hypnotized, we're not in charge of our life. We're not responsible for our lives, for our results, for who we are. And it's not that I'm against, it's not a campaign of anti screens or anything. I love, because I work on screen all the time on Zoom and so on. I love technology, but it's about choosing when you do it, not doing it because you're too tired, not doing it because you have nothing to do, not doing it because you're sad or you're frustrated. You do it because you decide to do it because you have a task that you want to achieve online, and that's it. Or you decide, now I watch a great movie because I want to, I want to, right? It's a decision. It's just because I find that very often people are, they let life decide for themselves. They let circumstance, events, computers decide for their life. While you know that we have so much power inside, and we are the master of our life. But it's a decision, right? Do you want to just go with the flow and wait for the life to pass until you die? Or do you want to be in control of your life and do something amazing with your life? And it's a choice, right?
I see. Right now, it's tough for people these days to find jobs. If they want to go the same path as you as a success coach, what are the things they can do right now to practice?
If they want to be, sorry, yeah, if they want to, sorry,
That's
can you
okay. That's
repeat?
okay. If
Sorry.
they want, that's okay. If they want to go the same path as you as a success coach, what are the
Ah,
things they can do right now to practice? Yes.
if they want to be a success coach,
Yes.
or to have success in their life.
Be a success coach. What are the things they can do right now to practice?
Okay. If they want to become a success coach, I'm now helping people to become a coach. I help them build their program. They can come to see me. And if they want to have success in their life, I would say, to be in charge in your life, it's the first step, is to know what's your goal and to do everything around your goal, because this is what you really, really want. And you have to make sure the goal you set is aligned with your values, your mission, and what you really want, you know? Yeah. And that's it, like you have to want it so much. Never give up. You have to be your will, you have to put your will in the front. Yeah.
Cool. And what does the work you do right now mean to you?
Now I'm a coach. I'm helping. I'm a certified in mindset and success coach, but also like I'm certified in neuroscience. I have a master degree in management, and also I study psychology years and years and years, and at university as well. So that's what I do. Say help people achieving their goal without exhausting themselves. Like yeah, like personal goals and professional goals. I work always the both together. So that's what I do mainly. That's the main. I do one-on-one and in group. And the second thing I do, I'm speaking to events, corporate events, all kinds of events. And the third thing I do, I'm finishing a book at the moment. So it's gonna,
Hmm.
yeah, so it's gonna come out in the autumn. So I finished the editing at the moment. Yeah.
Mhm. And why should anyone join the Speaker Slam?
Ah, they should go to Speaker Slam if they have a message that they want to help the world with. If they have a message and they have a mission, they feel they have something inside that they should deliver, they should absolutely go for it. Hmm.
Yeah, and lastly, based on your message, how do you how does one person how should you not exhaust yourself and avoid just
Right.
focus on self validation instead
Yeah.
of instead
Yeah.
of working on, yeah, go on, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I know myself now. I had like two major burnouts, and I know that I'm a high achiever. I've been a high achiever, and I know now that I love myself enough to not fall into this pattern anymore. So, because I've been training in my mental programming, so I see myself when I get excited about too many things, I stop and I ask myself, is it really my goal? Is it someone else's goal? Okay, is it mine to take or is it somebody else's? So, and this is important because I'm always excited for so many things in life. I'm an enthusiastic person. So, and very often, like like I say, sometimes I want more than my clients because I see their potential and they don't see it the way I see it, and I'm very very excited. But yeah, I know when I feel tired, I respect myself and I stop. I take a break. So, before I didn't do it. I needed to have a burnout and be in bed for 1 year to understand that I had the right to stop, you know?
And I guess that's it for the questions. Are you ready for quick fire? Answer questions quickly in under 90 seconds.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, here we go. Labor Bay fan, yes or no?
Pardon me? Sorry. Sorry.
Uh, okay, Labor Bay fan, yes or no?
Sorry. I don't understand.
No,
Live
that's
or
no.
sorry,
Source. Labor Bay fan, yes or no?
labor. Is it an expression?
No. They're a Quebec-based band.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I
You
don't
don't.
know. Maybe
Okay,
another
okay,
one. Another one.
okay. One word to describe yourself.
My will.
Okay. What is your best coach tip?
Oh wow, there's so many. Always feel what is best for you first. Before to say yes, just stop and ask yourself, is it the best thing for myself?
Mhm. Best artist you love to listen to?
Mel Robbins,
Ah, one everyday item you can't leave without.
my dog.
Ah, okay. Mantra in life.
Mantra?
Yes.
I am who I am, and that is enough. I know I'm doing a quantum leap, and I'm happy, healthy, and wealthy, and I love it.
Mhm. Best place in Montreal for a good meal.
Le Méac on Laurier
Ah,
Street.
oh, okay. All right, here we go, Sofranie. Ready for the screenshot?
The screenshot? Okay.
Oh yeah, let's take a screenshot from here. Again, thank you, Sofranie. Any last thoughts or comments?
I will be at the Grand Slam on November 21st. And if you want to be on the list to receive my book first, so you can send me an email at Sofranie atomicresults.com. Sofranie at atomicresults.com. Are you in Toronto, Nigel?
Edmonton.
Okay, Edmonton. Okay. Is it far from Toronto, like by car?
No, no, Edmonton, Alberta. So
It's
it's gonna
far.
be yeah, really far. Plane ride.
Oh, wow. Okay, okay. And what brought you to go to Speaker Slam?
I'm not joining it, but I saw I'm thinking of joining Speaker Slam Sunday, and I'd love to get you in my podcast.
Oh, so you saw it online.
Yes.
Ah, okay. Ah, that's great. So I encourage you
Okay.
to participate.
I
Really.
will someday. Again,
Yeah, yeah,
thank you. We
yeah.
have only less than a minute now. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Nigel. Thank you, Nigel. So see
Thank
you
you,
soon.
Sofrani. I'll see you
Yeah.
soon. À la prochaine.
À la prochaine.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.